starting the meeting, 6 o'clock. There we go. Approval of our minutes for February 2023.
Motion to approve as presented.
So we have a motion. Do I hear?
Second.
Perfect. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Anyone opposed? No. Motion or approval. Number 3, appearance of interested citizens. Does anybody want to come forward today? No? Okay, just gonna sit and observe. Wonderful. New and old business, we have a matching grant request. And Mr. Keizer is not here, so what we'll do is we're just gonna read through the application, which entails us to construct and replace 20 picnic tables. Sorry, did you want to add something? Go ahead.
Chair,
Go ahead.
I might suggest that since park staff isn't here, maybe we do our park reports.
Okay.
Well, he probably needs to hear those too, huh?
Well, I think you can go ahead and discuss unless you're.
Okay. As it was.
Okay. Construction and replacement of 20 picnic tables, 4 ADA tables, and 16 standard. Let's see, it looks like the ground contact treated lumber tops, which is all detailed on the second page, I believe, from Par Lumber. The Keizer Rotary will be responsible for completing assembly of the 20 tables and meet or exceed the Keizer Park specifications. Keizer Rotary will be providing and installing a plastic, sorry, my eyes are plastic, rotary emblem, not to exceed 4 inches square to the top of each table. So just a logo on each of the tables. Keizer Park will inspect tables a year after construction determine if painting will extend the lifetime of the tables, if useful. So it sounds like some additional work would be provided if needed. Keizer Rotary commits to providing labor to paint tables if needed. Okay, looks like the park board matching grant is for $7,577. And then private cash, $250, corporate sponsorship of $1,053.27, and then labor is estimated at $2677.50. So, opening up to discussion. Sure.
So I think according to what we've been seeing on the website, our current budget is about $9,500 left over for this fiscal year's grant budget. And I have not heard, we've been pushed, I know that the city's been pushing it out on social media. I know a couple of the board members have been pushing it out. Not a lot of feedback on that. Of course, I feel like we always get to like, I don't know, May 10th, and then we get a project that tries to come in. But that being said, I know that this money does have to get spent on projects if it's going to get spent on projects within the fiscal year. I see that these dollars are fairly hard cost dollars in terms of actually having bids and stuff. I have kind of 2 thoughts on this. One is we can make a motion to approve up to $8,000 in case there's any contingency or increased cost, or we settle on this 77 and request a report back, and if there's any additional costs, we could ask at that time to approve any additional costs. But I think with the increase of some of the work that's been done at the natural parks, specifically Palmacia, Wallace House, and the continuing work that's going on at Sunset, having those park bench features are good. I know that we've got the lawn that's basically ready to go now for this coming season, correct, at the south lawn at Keizer Rapids. So it'd be nice to have probably some picnic benches and stuff around there. So I just see this as a plus. One of the concerns I always have is vandalism and people stealing them. Mm-hmm. So you got to have probably a good place to anchor these things down. But I think it's a good project. I mean, this would be one of a bunch of projects that Rotary's done for the city of Keizer in the last, I don't know, forever. They just haven't been in a while since, I think, 2 years ago or 3 years ago when Jeff came in for the exercise equipment, right? Yeah. So just a couple thoughts I have on that.
Okay. I have a, oh, go ahead, Clay.
Quick question. So on the matching, we say matching, is this a dollar for dollar match, or is this you will give some and we'll take as much as we can get? Or is it it's not, obviously not a straight dollar for dollar. It's here's the funds available, we're gonna contribute some, this is how much we'd like. Okay,
Right.
just wanted to clarify that.
I think that we want to maximize on the dollars as much as possible. So if the total cost is higher than what we're so I think this is a good deal. We have needs in the parks for tables. So my question to you, Robert, would be, what's the cost for us to order tables in comparison to this? And then my next question would be, are you going to guide where the tables would go based on the needs of the parks?
Yeah, so as far as cost goes, it doesn't cost us much different than what's on this page, other than it costs us a lot of time to construct the tables. As far as placement of tables go, absolutely, I will be involved in where those end up. We already have a list made of where we need tables. We also have a list made of where we anticipate tables needing replaced very soon. And then we have some empty slabs and some newly developed areas that we could also utilize some of these as well. So it would not take long to get these distributed out throughout our park system and in use immediately.
Okay.
Use 10-footers or 8-footers?
Combination of, it actually lists out.
10 and 8?
4 would be ADA,
Yeah,
and the rest would be standard.
there we go.
And that's about exactly what we would need in our park system.
Okay.
That question was asked to me prior to them doing this,
Oh, okay.
to make sure we are meeting the needs of the ADA tables where appropriate.
One more question.
Yeah.
So they're constructing these versus buying pre-made and using
Correct.
the labor to install? Is this a wise use of funds and time versus ordering just a pre-made from a shop in Silverton that could put them together? Is that, are we?
Yeah, so in the past, some pre-made tables were purchased. They were all wood. We found that those didn't really last very long, given they sit out in the weather in Oregon year-round. So we've taken a new approach over the last 5 years. We started ordering, it's very similar to what like City of Salem does in a lot of the state parks. They put metal legs on their tables and then they put wood on top, keeping the legs up out of the moisture. They seem to last a lot longer. And then we were actually taking one step farther on with these particular tables. We were discussing the type of wood. Prior, we were using kiln-dried fir and painting it. And that seems to be lasting, about 5 years, but eventually, just the nature of our weather and if any scratches get on the wood, eventually water gets through that paint layer, even though we repaint them regularly. So the thought here was by pressure treated and then come back and probably put a top coat of paint on them, but at least what's underneath is designed to withstand water long-term. So hopefully this batch of wood lasts even longer than 5 years. We anticipate closer to 10. So yeah, longevity of these tables this is the absolute best. Does that answer? Okay.
Thank you.
Yep.
Any other discussion? Okay, does anybody want to make a motion?
I move that we approve the matching grant.
Any specifics within that?
I move that we approve up to $8,000, so that it has any little cost overages, because of inflation, things change price pretty frequently.
Okay. So we have a motion on the table to approve up to $8,000 for the matching grant. Is there a second?
Second.
Gwen seconds. Any discussion? Not hearing any discussion, I'm going to ask for a vote. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Grant's been approved. We're gonna have 20 new tables throughout our Keizer Park. So thank you, Mark, for submitting that grant request, and we will be in touch on when that will all happen. So, wonderful, thank you.
Right on.
The only thing I'd say is I think it's really important, you know, $1,500 can do a lot of good work. It's the remaining projected project balance. So take a look at what's out there. You know, it could be a, what would Hirsch ask for? Bike,
Bike racks?
yes, thank you. I don't know
yeah,
why I forgot the word bike
It's all
rack.
right.
Could be a bike rack, it could be, you know, we had that really cool art project that happened down at the Big Toy a couple years ago. Just take a look around. You know, be a little creative in your thought process. I don't think that there's necessarily anything that precludes a board member from participating in this. You just wouldn't be able to vote for it. You know, see what's out there, see what looks fun. You know, a number of years ago, what's his name? Wayne, came in and got some stuff for a soccer deal out at Country Glen Park. And it worked for a number of years, and then unfortunately it kind of went away, but, you know, it was fun. So, $1,500 is still out there, Council Kohler. There you go.
Awesome. Okay, Parks report. I will go first. Country Glen looks great. I'd wondered, it's been like maybe 2 weeks. There's one little plastic thing that's always off kilter. I think it gets replaced and the kids probably just play really hard on it and break it consistently. So that one is broken. And then I was also noticing that the first step onto the play structure is really high. So I was wondering if we could add some more of those fantastic bark chips or a way to add another lower step for those littles to be able to climb up on it, because it's a pretty big step up. Yep, and that, I took pictures, but I don't remember what I did with them, because I checked my camera to see it and I can't find them, so I might just run back and send some pictures to you. Other than that, always a fantastic park to go to. Mike Whittam, I drove by today. It is an interesting location, and I don't know the history of the park, because there's not even really a residential area to access it. So I'm interested to know a little bit more about it, because it's hard to give a park report because it's just there, is what I would say.
So real quick, since you talked about it, there is actually an access point on the back corner of the park
Is
that
it
the neighborhood
through
can
the neighborhood?
access
Okay.
through. Yes.
Okay,
So other than what
Need
you
to
see up
find that
front,
then.
there is one access
At the
point.
church.
Okay.
It's to an undeveloped park, so I mean, there's not a lot, but people do regularly come from that area
Okay.
to utilize it for what it's worth.
wonderful, thank you. I will try to get on the other side of the residential
It's
side and
probably
access it.
Very waterlogged and.
It had some
looked like
water
a
in it,
pond,
but,
Yeah.
very cool. Thank you for that update. Okay, Gwen,
Well, I was at Claggett Creek today, and it looked pretty good. Are the tire tracks are new ones, or, okay. There's more tire tracks. And, the bathrooms were really clean, except people keep throwing trash in the hole. Drives me crazy. I'm not fishing it out, but I'm just.
but she noticed it,
But
and
I
she
did
passed the
notice.
information along.
And then Ben Miller, that's such a cute little park. It's so well maintained. I mean, it's so cute. And there's nothing wrong with it. It's just a cute little park for the neighborhood. You know, if our kids were little, they'd be over there, right?
Yep. Awesome, thank you, Gwen. David,
Wallace House Park, there's a lot of ivy in the loop up on the top. It'll kill those trees after a while. So, and meadows look just fine.
okay, Katie,
Ryan J. Hill is great. I love that little park, actually. I've never been there until I got assigned it, so I
Nice.
checked it out. And, it's very cute. I do need to talk to Robert about Northridge because I cannot figure out how to get there. So,
Just go to Claggett Park and look up the hill.
okay. I'm like, I drove all around it, but I could not figure out how to get in.
Well,
That's
the
it.
access easements are there, but they're being occupied and you can't get there anyway.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go.
I'll explain some more details, background of the park
yeah,
to you.
Okay.
great.
Good to know.
Lisa,
All right, I go to Palmacia, okay, maybe every day. It is a beautiful park, and I really, really, really love the Boy Scout, Eagle Scout project. With all of the rain, there's been some more erosion. At the top, the path is getting to be a little over 2 feet wide.
Yeah.
And down at the bottom, it's what, 5, 6, 7 feet wide. So the erosion on that bank, there's also some erosion in Willamette Manor Park. So Willamette Manor, you know how there's that steep
Yeah.
bank? And I'm wondering if that could be almost something somebody could apply for a grant
Totally.
to, you know, put something down like that jute cloth or put some native plants, or if we could make it a project.
Yep, we've actually had the conversation with our environmental division about what options we could put down there, like a low-growing ground cover
Right.
with some jute fabric down, so,
Something that
yeah.
doesn't need a lot of water because the water doesn't hit that.
Right,
Except in the winter when the
Winter,
water
lots of water.
washes it away.
Mhm.
So, but anyway, with all the rain, a lot of the driftwood that's down at the back is moving down. It's on its way to Keizer Rapids. The driftwood at Keizer Rapids is on its way downriver again. And there are some tire tracks, and I don't know if it's because of parks people driving, beside in Palmacia, beside where the parking lot is, into the park to get to the garbage can, and that, or I don't know if it's just somebody else who's driven there. And I don't know if there's any way that we could put like the metal post that we can remove when people need to get back there to keep people out from driving in Palmacia.
yeah, that is a right-of-way for the power company, and so
Okay.
they come and go occasionally.
Oh,
So that's most likely who drove there, because we try really hard not to drive on muddy grass this time of year.
yeah,
And I've had a conversation with them about it, and they weren't too fond of us putting any type of a barricade down there in case they needed to access
Okay.
their pole quickly. But if it continues to be a problem, maybe we'll look at another alternative of maybe some gravel or something in that
Well,
general problem
And I know
area.
that last summer, there were people backing into the park so that they didn't have to walk their stuff down the path, when it was the old path.
Oh, wow.
But, yeah. So, anyway,
Okay.
and then Willamette Manor looks gorgeous. You know, it's mowed, it's clean. The big graffiti project that happened a little bit earlier this month, or last month,
Mhm.
whenever it was, has been covered up.
Yeah,
And there are not bark, but the big wood chips for the playground, there are new ones there. There are wood chips on that erosion prone area. There's bark dust, the signs repainted, there's new bushes. It's just beautiful. So I love that park.
Awesome. And last, Keizer Rapids.
In Keizer Rapids,
I got
The-
something. There's still one of those old disc golf course concrete things out there in where they changed it, and it's just laying out there, and
there's a lot of them.
yeah, there's probably, I just saw one on a quick tour of that area. I know there's more than one.
Oh, yeah. Where's it done?
Somebody's been down there putting some chips on a trail up to one of their tees, and they've cut down some,
Oregon grape.
no, actually, well, they've been into the Oregon grape, but also the Scotch broom some of it's been cut down. You don't need to cut down the Oregon grape, it's not that
Yeah, no,
invasive.
they cut down the Oregon grape.
On the disc golf course.
On the disc golf course, but so, there's the steps. So it's up high and then there's the steps that go down low. Right in that area, they've cut some of the Oregon grape back, which makes me sad because it's Oregon's state flower.
yeah. Well, it's a native, we want that plant.
Yeah, well, they cut it down.
I will go investigate, thank you.
Okay. And the garbage can holders that have been put in Keizer Rapids are amazing.
Well, one,
Okay, I walk by it every day.
yeah.
So when it showed up, it's like, this is the best idea ever.
Yeah.
Maybe somebody can build some of those for a matching grant.
Ooh.
Yeah. I was gonna bring that up later, but
Oh,
since you talked about it.
I was so excited.
We have a prototype, garbage can holder, lid, and lid holder
Yeah.
that we've installed. And, we wanted to just let it kind of be used for a while to make sure we really like the design. We kind of copied what state parks use a little bit, but kind of put our own twist on it. We're utilizing some leftover lumber from the big toy build from the pickets. We had a lot of blank pickets that when the names were put on the other pickets, we removed the blanks. So we have a pile of them. So we're like, what can we use those for? And anyway, so if anybody wants to go look at it, it's on the loop trail at Keizer Rapids near the new turf field that we put in this last year. Excuse me, just east of the boat ramp,
Sweet.
near some picnic tables. So, does that
Yeah.
sound accurate to you?
Yeah.
Give it a try, see what you think.
I mean, every time I see it,
Yeah.
it's just like, oh, this is the best idea.
We've received already like a dozen people telling us the same thing, so I think
Okay.
we're onto something good.
Yeah.
Our goal with that was to keep the lid from getting just tossed off the can.
Yeah.
Because people right now, they just walk up, they throw the lid, they throw their garbage in.
Well,
Thankfully, they threw the garbage in, but then they walk away and then it fills with 6 inches of water over the next 2 days and that becomes a fun chore. So anyways, yeah, I'd love any feedback from that design if anybody uses it.
Are there pictures of that set up somewhere?
I have a picture of it. I could forward it to you guys if you want to look
I
at it.
could take a picture tomorrow morning and send it to you.
Yeah. So,
Anything else for Keizer Rapids?
Just the disc golf people have been doing a lot of work on the trails since it's all super muddy now. All that chipped material is helping the paths
Nice.
stay not soggy. And it looks good. People are using it. I mean, people are always there.
Yep.
So rarely alone.
Awesome. Back to you, Robert. Staff report?
yeah, quick update on Ben Miller Park. We're planning sometime in April to remove the old playground. I think I've talked to you about this before, but that one's coming out, and then we're gonna kind of rough excavate the area and get it prepped. We have a contractor coming in May and June to build a new playground there and include ADA access from the south side of the park, off the sidewalk there. So really looking forward to that. Had some tree work done there as well. R&R came in and limbed up the trees, and then we had a split top pine tree that is kind of near the playground area. Really didn't want to remove the tree. It's really nice and healthy, but just to be safe, we went ahead and had a cable added to attach the two tops together. Pretty standard practice when you have a tree that does that. So it makes it safe. And yeah, I'm just really looking forward to some updates there. I know Gwen was mentioning it's a great park, but it's going to be even better here soon. So looking forward to that. Graffiti, this whole city is dealing with graffiti really bad lately. I don't know if you guys drive around much and seen it, but it's a bit ridiculous. They've continued to hit our parks regularly. Keizer Rapids, Bob Newton, the skate park, just to name a few. We try to get to it as quick as we can. Unfortunately, some of these rainy days, I mean, you kind of have to wait. You can't go out and smear paint around in the rain. So, but I've noticed it driving around. I mean, it's just like, wow. It's so bad that the whoever it is doing it is crossing out the graffiti that these people put on yesterday to write their own. You know, it's like layers. I know this gentleman that presented this. Got his personal shop garage door got tagged
It's right next
in
to
broad
Bob
daylight,
Newton.
Oh,
and he has it on camera on Sunday. It's just like, wow. And they weren't young either. They were. Oh, this one guy has a beard. So I mean, it's like, I don't know what's going on.
I was at home, stop looking at me.
I know.
Kind of resembled no. It's just sad. I don't know. It's frustrating after, you continue just to spend lots and lots of hours removing it just for it to return quickly. But Got a new arch climber, Wallace House that had a little issue pointed out to us recently, so we got that replaced, so that's good to go. Put in the new playground wood chips at Willamette Manor. That was in need of those. We filled them nice and tall along the walk path there where there was some concerns about people possibly, falling off the edge of the trail, so we filled it nice and tall there. And recently, over the last, I'll say 6 to 12 months, multiple people have approached park staff and asked if they could donate benches to Keizer Rapids Park. And so there's been multiple new benches installed along the river near the boat ramp. And actually, there's going to be one more. And then I think that's done because I don't honestly know where else we're going to put them unless they're like side by side. But there's plenty of benches to go sit on now and view the river at Keizer Rapids Park.
I like that
So
one
if
that
that's,
looks over the boat ramp.
yeah, isn't that cool up on
Yeah.
the point there?
Then there's another one on the trail
Yep.
that we actually went on
Yep.
Christmas Day.
So it's been great. I mean, people just come forward and say, we'd like to buy the bench, and then they buy the plaque, and I order it up, and I offer to install them if they want, but I also offer if they have a volunteer group that they want to install it, that's fine too. It doesn't take that long. But anyways, just encourage anybody who's wanting to go hang out and look at the river to go try those out.
Awesome.
Yeah, that's all I got.
Wonderful. Counselor Kohler.
In between rainstorms. Yes.
In the rainstorms, there's goods.
Just a couple of things. You may have noticed some new furniture out in the lobby. And so that's part of our, I don't know what department to say thank you for getting that all installed. I know Tracy had a lot to do with it. But if you notice that, it's nice stuff. Let's do our best to take care of it. I call out a part too tonight.
Nice.
The Civic Center living room, I guess. We're extremely fortunate to have the parks that we have and the crews that help take care of it and y'all that spend your time looking at those is something that we value as a city council and as a city. So keep up the good work. We appreciate it. Looking forward to some more information about what's going on with the turf fields out at Keizer Rapids, the soccer fields, and we calling them soccer fields. Anyway, we're calling them turf fields, I think. Yeah. So looking forward to seeing something going on with that and a little more action here pretty quick, but exciting stuff. So thank you.
Awesome.
Any questions?
No. Other business?
You got two quick items?
Yeah.
So first, something, I got a phone call, former colleague on this board, former city councilor, Richard Walsh, forwarded a guy on to me. Really nice gentleman, and for the life of me, I can't remember his name, but we spent about 40 minutes on the phone. This is about 2 months ago. In fact, I think it was the night after I missed like the first Parks Board meeting ever. Had some concerns about ADA accessibility on the boat ramp, and had a couple of ideas, but specifically, I guess there's been some conversations that have happened regarding having the marinas actually, the Marine Board actually come out and look at the boat ramp and maybe do an evaluation of that, which I thought kind of seemed odd to me. But this does kind of bring up something that I had talked about a little over a year ago, which was, that's a pretty steep boat ramp, and I think that people that do have some mobility challenges, particularly those in maybe a wheelchair, are going to potentially struggle to get down there. What are some thoughts, Robert? Now, you may not have an answer for it right now, but I'm just curious how we look at that in terms of, I'm sure when it was built with ADA accessibility in mind. How do we educate folks how to properly use that facility if they do experience some mobility challenges? Like, do you have any ideas?
I don't off the top of my head. I do know that it was built to standards, and that's
Right.
one of the newest ramps in this area, as a matter of fact. So, I mean, I'm not overly concerned that we're not up to modern day standards with
I
that.
think so, right?
Yeah, I don't know. That's a tough one. It is steep, but
Yeah.
I mean, I'm an avid boater myself. I've been boating my whole life, and it's no steeper than Wallace Marine Parks, I'll tell you that.
That's right.
The way it's designed, it's kind of long. So especially when the river gets down, it's way down there. So
Right.
I could see mobility being an issue if you get way down there and then you gotta get all the way back up.
Yep.
I mean, part of me likes to think that if you know you have some mobility problems, I mean, standing at the top, that looks a little like, maybe I
Right.
shouldn't clear down there, but if you don't have help to get out, I don't know, but I'm not sure. The
I think
Marine,
that
the
answers the
Marine,
question. I think that does answer the question. I think the thing that came up with the Marine Board a year ago was potentially having some ADA assisted like launches for canoes and stuff like that. Because I think that there was definitely something that came up. I know somebody brought it up to me about a year ago, and I maybe want to revisit it. But I did tell that gentleman I would bring it up and ask the question to confirm that they were in fact ADA accessible.
Oh, yeah.
I knew, but again, just wanted to bring that up. So thank you for that. And then lastly, I just want to take a minute to talk about, as you drove in, you might have noticed it looks a little different around this facility. And if you didn't, well, it's okay. But starting last Thursday, actually, Mark Keizer and some Rotarians came in, kind of did an assessment of basically the entire Civic Center complex that goes from just about the end of this building by the police department on Bailey and loops all the way around to the skate park. But we did a cleanup, and we started, I got here about 7:30, get all the pre-work stuff done. Counselor Kohler was there helping out, Mark Keizer and a couple other guys were out sort of getting things ready to go. But we ended up with just about 100 volunteers, and it was tough this year because people would show up and then disappear within an hour, and which was great, but it was kind of hard to sort of keep track of everybody that was there. But the fullest I think that we've ever had that debris bin. It was a 30-yard debris bin, and it was completely full all the way to the top, to the point where Chief Teague was actually standing on top of the pile as Mark Keizer was taking and loading things up into it, and we were compressing it down. So just an incredible amount of work that went on Saturday, and it was really neat. And then we came back on Sunday and spent about another 3 hours with the leaf blowers, kind of tidying things up. So just wanted to say thank you to, I think Mark said this is the most Rotarians he's seen at this event in a number of years, and just the volume of people that were there, kids from, that could barely walk all the way up to adults that could barely walk. So it was a great event. Yeah. So big shout out to the city for continuing to allow us to do that project. I know that they're just desperately trying to take it over, but
Oh, yeah.
it was good. It was a lot of fun.
Awesome.
So I know Gwen, I saw you there, and Counselor Kohler was there, and I
I was
know
not, I'm sorry.
you ladies were there, Tammy, and let's see, who else? Who am I forgetting?
Not me.
All right.
Mr. Wood indicated that project saves the city about $35,000.
Really?
Well,
So
Thank
can
you.
we get that for the
Seriously.
matching grant program? I mean, could that be a possibility? I'm just kidding. No? Okay, sorry, I won't even bring it up.
For it being the 13th year, we didn't have any bad luck, so,
yeah,
yeah,
Good work.
ordered up some good weather.
yeah.
Good enough.
And we maintained that, and I will say that I think one of the things that made this whole project unique is we actually maintained this project annually, even through the pandemic.
Yeah.
And we put some pretty strict rules in during the pandemic and stuff, but we still maintained it. I think in fact, I know part of the reason we were able to do this through the pandemic was because basically all of Robert's guys got everything ready to go. So we didn't have to have people shuffling around trying to grab all the equipment and stuff. So that was really helpful.
Yeah.
But yeah, we haven't stopped in 13 years.
Awesome.
Yeah, I really appreciate all the work that the public and whoever volunteered does for that, because Dan Collingham and I are the only two people that really are in charge of maintaining the grounds around this building,
Wow.
mostly Dan. And he's just one person, so that is a huge help. It gives him the ability to focus on everything else that he has to do and just, you know, kind of keep the weeds at bay through the summer and keep the grass mowed, if you will. But if that one person had to do that cleanup, I mean, you say you had 100 people here for 3 or 4 hours, and then I know some people came back
Yeah.
to finish things up. That would be a huge burden on him to take on. So thank you very much. Really, really appreciate it every year.
Awesome. Any other business? Okay, Gwen, you got the report on Monday, March 20th? And we're all finished up. 6:35.